Hello, everybody. Just checking in with my journey and everything. I got a little bit of a cold, but I still wanted to do this video because it's like a few days late. Um, but not a confession this time, just kind of talking about what I'm going through a little bit. So, as you see now, I am fully bald, like for real bald. And um, I was supposed to just get it cut down because my hair was just shedding, but by the time that I went to get it cut, like um, it was just coming out in clumps and leaving patches. So bald it is. um, and surprisingly, like I just don't feel that upset about it. I didn't think. I don't know. I thought that it would be an emotional experience and stuff because it was for so many people, or has been for so many people, but nah, I just felt like, whew, I'm free. I wouldn't keep it this way. I like my hair, I like my hair more, but uh, but yeah, it doesn't bother me as much as I expected it to, which is a good thing. But oh my gosh, all of this time has been super emotional, and what's more emotional that I wanted to talk about is realizing, that I felt like even though I've done a crazy amount of spiritual work, um, a crazy amount of ancestral veneration and all kinds of stuff, like really doing the spiritual work, I realized that I was missing the mark um, in a big way now. And not only realizing that I was missing the mark, but also realizing that um, in certain situations, I feel like the Scooby Doo thing. Like every time, when what is his name, Shaggy and them, or whoever it is, I can't really remember. But every time they go to pull the mask off of whatever thing was tricking them, it's always that person. Like it's always themselves. And that's kind of how I've been realizing, like in each and every situation, I'm the villain, I'm the person that's making the wrong decisions. I'm the person that's not doing the best for me. I'm the person that keeps shortchanging myself. I'm the person that keeps that keeps disrespecting myself and allowing myself to be disrespected and different things like that. Just on and on and on. So I've been in this deep grieving process for the person that I used to be because I'm very aware that there's no way in the world that we both can coexist inside of this body, inside of this vessel. We both can't be here. I mean, it is what it is. Only one of us can fit, and that one of us has to be a new version of me. It has to be that higher version of me. There's so much more for me to do, so much more for me to complete. And I have truly, truly, truly gone around the mulberry bush with really stepping into my power and stepping into my purpose and living intentionally and all of that. I've been really, really stuck in survival mode, and I see it now, and I didn't see it before that I've been stuck in survival mode since a freaking birth, and I haven't enjoyed a lot of life in the long, in the long, like in the long run of looking back at things. There's so many opportunities for fun and joy and happiness and stuff that I had, but I'm too busy surviving to take those opportunities, And that's something that I've been realizing. But anyway, this I talked a little bit more about reuniting with my dad's side of the family, and so this past weekend, my dad is actually the person that cut my hair. um, but basically, what I did ahead of time, just knowing everything that I've said previously in this video, also knowing that my dad literally knows little to nothing about how I grew up and all of the struggles and stuff that I've gone through because we didn't have that sort of relationship. I knew he was my dad. I knew he paid child support. I saw him a few times, but it wasn't like, okay, like for sure, every single summer, I'm going down there and stay with my dad the whole summer. It was always, some kind of argument. And then between who's going to drive and who's going to take back and all this other kind of stuff, they, never came to an agreement. And so, so we didn't have that strong of a relationship. And this weekend, I um, finally sat down, not just with my dad, but with my grandmother and my aunts as well, to just tell them like what it's been like for me. And of course, that was super emotional because none of them imagined that. And everyone was like, you totally could have called us. You didn't have to suffer through these things. And not believing, not wanting to believe, but they also know because it's obvious in my way of being, um, the way that that I was brought up, or uh, the way that I raised myself, essentially, um, that it was kind of obvious. And so um, it was an emotional experience, but more so for them than it was for me. For me, I felt like as if I pulled off this weighted vest off of myself. And the crazy thing is, I asked all of them like a few weeks ago to meet me and stuff like that. And when I noticed the date that we chose, it happened to fall right on the new moon. It happened to be the new moon in Virgo, all of that. So I was just like, Virgo, because I'm a rising Virgo, so it's even more powerful for me to get my shit together now and really, be strategic about how I'm going to reemerge, if that makes sense, or rebirth myself. Because I'm not done this process. Um, I've done a whole month of treatment at this point, and I've got 2 more to go at this aggressive level. And then I still have uh, another 12 weeks, but a less aggressive treatment. I'll only have to go every 3 weeks instead of every week. Excuse me. So that'll change things up, but and give you more time to do things. But like right now, the new moon, it was just the perfect time to purge. And the crazy thing is, like, one of my other sisters happened to also like be cleaning out her entire apartment. It's just so good when you see other people purging around you, and it's so interesting, when it comes to metaphysics and the fact that the new moon pushes those purging cycles out of us on a monthly basis. But it's just so cool when you see other people falling in line with it without actually knowing it or believing in moon cycles and things. So it's really interesting. But that's why also I expected to get sick. I know how I am because I let that emotional burden out, boom, my body had to continue with it. So yeah, it looks like I have a cold. If I feel sick to my stomach today, so I'm just having broth and tea and water and just letting it come through. Even some bleeding happened. Purging is purging, and it comes out how it comes out. I know within a few days I'll probably be fine. Um, Even though chemo kind of does that, it drops your immune system. It drops everything, the good and the bad. So my defenses were down, but it's okay. I'll be fine. I just feel, and then I also had a Reiki session, and that helped push out even more. Um, it was just freaking amazing. And overall, I feel very grateful for this entire process. I'm grateful for it's difficult. All the side effects, like, don't get me wrong, it is difficult. Um, my body is slowly responding to it, which is all good. There's no shrinkage yet, but I just feel like incredibly blessed at the end of the day to not just like be reunited with my family, but be reunited with myself. Um, Seeing my mistakes that I've done, especially in parenting myself, but also seeing my mistakes as an adult, things that I could have done differently. And I just feel blessed because I feel so supported going into the next phase of my life. And also, like, I almost lost my train of thought. Um, there's this shift happening, especially since this weekend, because the root chakra being based on how you are brought up in your early life, prior to about the age of 7, because I was raised a certain way around just one primary parent. I had all of these beliefs about myself and who I am and what I can and can't do. And that's been like, my mom's voice has been my inner voice. And I've mistreated myself because I allowed that to be my inner voice. And experiencing what I've felt from my dad's side of the family has been pivotal, because it's like now, instead of hearing this negativity, hearing you can't do this and you can't do that, I'm hearing we love you. You can do this. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You can really do it. Oh my goodness. Why don't you go for it? That type thing. I'm hearing these positive reinforcements and feeling this shift in just a few days, feeling, just totally different in my core. So much more confident, so much more whole. That's how I feel. I feel whole. I feel, I know that I'm not fully healthy, but I feel healthy. I feel powerful. I feel um, like all my creative juices are flowing. I feel freaking amazing, actually, even though I feel a little bit like scratching the throat. But in general, like, in this ethereal body, in my emotional body, I feel really, really good. And I just wanted to share that. Um, I know everybody's healing journey is different, and it looks different for everybody because, depending on how you were raised or whatever, it looks very different for some people. And, but it's totally worth it. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to, excuse me, at the end of the day, I don't want to change anything about this journey and the way that I'm coming for. I don't. I appreciate it all, even if I took the long way around. And as my um, Reiki master was saying yesterday, even if I've been wearing running shoes for several years, running from my destiny, I still wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it. But anyway, I hope this encourages somebody on the healing journey. And I hope that, I just hope you're having a wonderful day. Have a good one. And I'll talk to y'all soon.